field was so hard to reach. The ground was so hard and their hearts were so hard. But through time and prayer and fasting and developing a relationship with the people, one soul at a time, we're changing hearts and touching lives. Abby is just one of the stories at Indiana Bible College of a heart that has been changed and a life that's been touched by the hand of God. I can remember the day that I felt a burden for lost souls and for missions. I was 12 years old at a Texas youth camp, and I stood not too close to the altar so as to be fully called, but at the altar nonetheless, kind of towards the back, and I just felt this huge burden, and I was so consumed by it, and I couldn't help but weep within my soul. I really started praying and fasting and seeking God's face. Where do you want me to go? Where do you want me to be? I finally decided, I'm just going to go on a fast, and I'm not going to eat until I find out where I'm going to go. Well, 3 hours into the fast, I was praying, and God said, what about my people at Indiana Bible College? This television was given to us out of conviction by Brandon Spurlock after having multiple parties at his house and undergoing disciplinary action. He finally came to the realization that it's time to focus on God. So he said, I don't even want it anymore. Here, take it. So we have it here as a trophy of his testimony. Me was our first convert, and the hand may not mean a bunch to you, but if you saw the blood that he came out of and the horror, Justin Davis, kind of a shy guy, doesn't put much on his hand, but a real man of God now that God has taken a hold of his life and has transformed his heart by the renewing of his mind. Just handprints on a wall, but also handprints on our heart. When we first arrived, the language barrier was huge. IBC language is one of the most difficult in the world to understand. I remember one time we were sitting in our living room, and for hours we had been drilling each other, okay, what does like whatever rad mean? And I could not get it for the life of me, but with the help of Amy and God only, we were able to conquer that language barrier. When we first got here, there was so many difficulties to try and overcome in the language barrier and everything else, but we finally broke through and had a breakthrough one chapel service, and there were so many people that were just filled with God's Spirit. Now our current work is not so much saving them as it is perfecting the saints, so to speak. When you're someplace that God has called you to be, it's hard not to love it. It's beautiful. The scenery is just amazing. It's come so far in such a short amount of time under the current regime, and they are just great to work with in terms of being a missionary, and they love having missionaries to the country. They're kind of weird in that sense, but The culture is just amazing. You can always find someone in a lobby. There's plenty of people to witness to. We just love being here with everything that we have, all that we are.